Hello students, how are you all? Hope you will be fine in your health and spirit. Students, as you know, we have started our revision series and today we are going to revise the third chapter of Flamingo, and that is Deep Water by William Douglas. Students, you already know what is the lesson Deep Water. In this lesson, the writer is going to tell us about his fear of water, why this fear and what happened to him, and afterwards what he had done to come out of that fear, and at last he succeeded. So this story of William Douglas we are going to see through pictures. So let's see the picture and enjoy and understand the lesson very nicely. Thank you. Just you start watching the film.
Of the chapter. The incident which the author is telling us happened when he was 10 or 11 years old. He had decided to learn how to swim, and there was a swimming pool at the YMCA in the town where he lived, Yakima, and so he joined that swimming pool. His mother would continuously warn them against going towards the river Yakima. She said that it is very dangerous and so they should stay away from the river. So the young boy considered the pool to be comparatively safer, and so he joined the swimming pool to learn how to swim. It was safe as the slope from the shallow end to the deep one was gradual. So this is how that young boy had assessed that why a swimming pool is safer than the river. You know where is the shallow part of the pool and you know where is the deeper end. So it is easier for you to learn swimming in a pool as compared to the river. Further, he tells us that he got a pair of water wings. When he started learning, you can see little children, they use these water wings which they wear on their arms so that they do not sink into the water. In the next line, he says that I hated to walk naked into it and show my skinny legs, but I subdued my pride and did it. These words, I subdued my pride and did it, these show his love that he had for swimming. He was so keen to learn how to swim that he gave away, he kept his pride on one side, he kept his honor on one side, as he did not like to go bare legs, show his skinny legs, but still he did that because he was keen to learn swimming. Now he tells us he had a fear of water. From the beginning, however, I had an aversion to the water when I was in it. So he tells us that at the age of 3 or 4 years, he used to accompany his father to the beach in California. It was there that he realized his dislike for water. He tells us that whenever the waves would knock him down, would hit him, he would fall down. Knock me down means he would fall down and the waves would sweep over him. They would come all over him and he would be all wet. He was buried in water. He says, I was buried in water because there was water all over the little boy. My breath was gone. So he was breathless. When you are underwater, you cannot breathe, and as a little child of 3 or 4 years does not know how to hold his breath. So he will feel that he is breathless. I was frightened. Obviously, when you cannot breathe, you will be frightened. His father laughed. Because his father is a grown-up adult, he knows that the water is not dangerous. The child is near him, he can always save him. But the little child, he is full of fear of water. So from that age, he had a terror in his heart because of the overpowering force of the waves. The waves were so powerful that he got a fear of them. Now when this young boy of 10-11 years goes to the swimming pool, on and off he would have those unpleasant memories and childhood fears. He says they are childish fears because he used to recollect that he is a little child and all the water will come over him. It will make him breathless, and so he would again get scared of it. The past experiences which he had with the sea waves when he was a little boy of 3 or 4 years, they were so deeply embedded in his subconscious mind that they would come over again and again in his mind even when he was learning how to swim in a swimming pool. You know, there is a lot of difference between the water in a sea and that in a swimming pool, but still, this boy's fears are so strong that he is feeling the fear in the swimming pool also, just as he had felt when he was a little boy. As the time went by, he started gathering confidence. He started copying the little children who were also swimming in the pool with him. He would watch them and he would also try to swim the way they did. He did this 2 or 3 times on different occasions, and he was starting to feel comfortable, and then this particular incident happened. One fine day, he reached the swimming pool and there was no one over there. The place was very quiet. So, you know, when the place is quiet, it will look similar to the sea. Not many people around in the sea also. So he felt the similar kind of a vibe over there. Further, he says the water was still and the tiled bottom was as white and clean as a bathtub. So here the author is explaining how the swimming pool looked to the little boy of 10-11. Then he says that I was timid about going in alone. So he was frightened. He didn't have the confidence. He didn't have the courage to go into the pool alone. So he just sat on the side of the pool and he was waiting for some other children to come. Just then, he had sat there for a few minutes only when a big boy, probably a teenager, he came over, just picked up this young boy, picked up young William and threw him in the deep end of the pool. He does not know what is going to happen with him. He has been taken by surprise and he does not know how to swim. He is not confident enough. He has the fear of water. And over and above that, this boy has just pushed him in the deep end of the pool. There is no one around to help him also. As he fell into the pool, the water got into his mouth and he sank. He sank towards the bottom of the pool. He says, I was frightened, but not yet frightened out of my wits. So what he is trying to tell us is, although he was frightened, he kept his mind working. He kept thinking that what is happening to him and what he must do in order to save himself. So he thought of an idea. He made a plan. See the courage this boy is trying to gather. He has the fear. He does not know how to swim. And above that, he is using his mind and he has devised a plan how to save himself. He says that he thought, when my feet will hit the bottom, I would make a big jump, come to the surface, lie flat on it and paddle to the edge of the pool. So this is what he had thought he will do. But he says that the things did not turn out as he had planned. He had thought that he would just reach the bottom of the pool in a few seconds. But practically the journey was very long. The 9 feet felt like 90 to him. So by the time he reached the bottom of the pool, he was quite breathless. Still, he gathered all his strength and he pushed himself against the bottom of the pool. And what he had thought was, he would just reach at the top of the pool in a few seconds. But then again, this journey was much more longer than what he had thought. On his way to the top of the pool, he opened his eyes, but he could not see anything else other than water around him. So, he had not come out of the pool yet. He started feeling suffocated. He waved his arms swiftly at the surface of the water and he swallowed some water also and got choked. So still he tried to bring his legs up, but they would not move. He was overpowered by fear. Now he started getting scared. His plan was not coming out as he had thought. So he was paralyzed with fear. He tried to scream, but no sound would come out of him. He moved his arms desperately, but all his efforts to come out of the pool failed and he sank once again to the bottom of the pool. Then he started losing all his strength. He tried 3 times to come out of the pool, but for the third last time also, he sank in the pool. After that, he had lost all his strength. His legs could not move, as if they were paralyzed underwater. Then he felt the fear of death. He was screaming under the water. He was shrieking, but his sound could not be heard by anyone. The fear of death seized him. He could only feel that his heart was beating, which made him feel that he is still alive. Other than that, his whole body had gone stiff and rigid. He could not move his body at all. He had ceased all his efforts and he was relaxed now. He says, a blackness swept over my brain. This indicates that his brain had stopped working. The analysis which he was doing earlier, the planning which he was making earlier, now all that working of his brain had stopped. So he says it wiped out the fear. The fear goes in your mind only. Now once your brain has got blackened out, it has stopped working, the fear has also got over. There was no more panic. Now his arms and legs were at rest. He was not trying anymore to move them. He just wanted to go to sleep. He did not feel the need to jump. So now what is happening in this paragraph? He is telling us he was dying. This is what happens. This is his experience with death. He had experienced death from such a close quarter. All his efforts had stopped now, and now he was finally dying. After that, the curtain of life had fell over him. After that, the next thing which he realized was lying beside the pool and he was vomiting. And some people were scolding that boy, the big teenager boy who had pushed him into the pool. He felt very weak and he was trembling because of weakness also and because of the fear and the encounter with death which he had. He could not eat anything that night, and for many days the fear kept on haunting him in his heart. He feared water and he tried to avoid it as much as possible. So after that, many occasions arose in his life when he would have the opportunity to go for fishing, go for rafting and go for boating and all, swimming, but he would escape all those opportunities, although he would like to go there. But whenever he tried, a paralyzing, immobilizing fear, horror would grab him. He says, icy horror would grab my heart. Now, icy horror means something which is very intense. Icy means something which will stiffen you and you cannot move yourself. You get immobilized and paralyzed. Such sort of a fear would come over him. It would grip him whenever he would go in any water body. He says, this handicap stayed with me as the years rolled by. So he has treated it as a handicap because he is incapable of doing something and he really wants to go and do that. So he wanted to overcome this handicap. So his desire to learn how to swim, to go swimming in the natural bodies of water, to go fishing, this desire was so intense in him that once again he hired an instructor to teach him how to swim. Still, whenever he would be left on his own in the water, the fear would come back to him. The fear would again grip him over. And he was not that confident to swim all on his own. So William wanted to make sure that all the terror had left him. After learning from the instructor, he went to different lakes, different venues he chose to swim and to check whether the fear, he had overcome all the fear or not. So it would happen, he says, tiny vestiges of the old terror would return. But now I would frown and say to that terror, trying to scare me? Well, here's to you, look. And off I'd go for another length. Again he says, the old sensation returned in miniature. I laughed and said, well, Mr. Terror, what do you think you can do to me? It fled and I swam on. So these two occasions which the author has mentioned, they indicate that his fear was baseless. whenever he would face it sarcastically, it would go away. So it is something which is embedded in his subconscious mind due to his childhood fear. And whenever he would face it with strength, with willpower and determination, it would just vanish. This experience of the author was very meaningful for him. He says that only those people who know terror and who have conquered it can appreciate it. So he experienced death, and he says that death is peaceful, because once he had died, once he was just about to die, he had given up, he was all at peace. The fear of death is what is terrorizing. He reminds us of the lines told by Franklin Roosevelt. He says, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. After this experience, the author says that his desire to live life grew intensely as he had overcome his fear. So he says that he had experienced terror, he had experienced near death, and these experiences were so enriching for him that after that he came to know the value of life and he lived life to the fullest.
Students, I hope you have enjoyed the film and now you understand the story very nicely. Afterwards, understanding the story, you have to remember all the incidents properly. You have to write in the exam what happened with him, and that also lead to success for you also. After this video, as usual, I am going to send you question answers, and those who have not written earlier in Fair Book, they have to write all the question answers in their Fair Book. Thank you. Have a nice day.